Hello everyone, this is part 3 of our space shooter game in Scratch. In this tutorial, we would be making enemy spaceship, enemy laser, and the score. So let's get started. So now let's paint a new sprite. Let's name it enemy spaceship. And now let's paint the costume. So I'm done with painting enemy spaceship. So now let's do the coding. So grab a when flag clicked. So we are not showing the original sprite, we are only showing its clones. So when flag clicked hide, and then forever create clone of myself and wait like 2 to 4 seconds. So wait, go to operators, grab a pick random, wait 2 to 4 seconds. So now let's grab a when I start as a clone. So when I start as a clone, of course show, and then it will go to like, so let's just make the direction 180. So it will go to like here. So go to operators, grab a pick random. So x minus 235 till here. So 232. So it will go to x minus 235 to 232 and y 167. So now it will point towards player. So point towards player. So now let's grab a forever loop and then set size to block. So set size to 400 and then move 4 steps. So if you want it faster, you can just keep 10, or if you want it slower, you can just do 2 or 3 steps, but I want 4 steps. So then it will set size to 100. So what this will do is it would be able to pass the edge. So now let's see that. Yes, it's able to pass the edge, but if it touches the bullets, nothing happens. So now let's make a new variable. So let's name the variable enemy lives. So for this sprite only. So we are going to grab a when I start as a clone. So when I start as a clone, set enemy lives to 3. So set enemy lives to 3 and then forever. So forever if it's touching the bullets. So if touching bullets, so if it's touching the bullets, it will set the brightness effect to 15 and then wait 0.01 second and set brightness back to 0. So set brightness to 0. So what this will do is we would know that we hit the enemy spaceship, and it will change enemy spaceship lives by -1. So and then grab a if then statement. So if, go to operators, grab a lesser than. So if enemy lives is lesser than 1, which is 0, then it will delete this clone. So now let's test that. So 1 2 3, yeah, it's working. So now let's paint a new sprite. Let's name it enemy laser. So for the enemy laser, just draw this and make sure to center it. And now let's create a variable, name it token for all sprites, and let's make new 3 lists. So for the first one, just name enemy direction, and for all sprites. For the second one, enemy X for all sprites, and the third one, enemy Y for all sprites. So just hide all of these and go to enemy spaceship. So now grab a when I start as a clone, forever, and one more thing. We don't want the enemy lives to be for this sprite only. We want it to be for all sprites. So just make another variable, name it enemy lives for all sprites, and just change the enemy lives for this sprite only one with enemy lives for all sprite. And after that you can delete the enemy life which is for this sprite only and hide the enemy lives. So it will when I start as a clone, it will forever change token by 1, and it will add thing to enemy direction, add thing to enemy x, and add thing to enemy y. So just change the thing to for x position, y position, and direction. So for enemy direction, change to direction, for enemy x, change it to x position, and for enemy y, change it to y position. And then it will forever create clone of enemy laser and wait like 0. Or wait, pick random, go to operators, grab a pick random 2 to 3 seconds. So now let's go to enemy laser. So in enemy laser, we are not going to show its original sprite, we are only going to show its clones. So when flat click hide, and then when I start as a clone, show. And so we didn't do forever create clone of myself because we have done it in here. So when I start as clone, it will create clone of enemy laser. So we don't need to do forever create clone of myself. So when I start as a clone, show, and then it will go to variables, and then grab a item 1 of enemy direction. So in the x position, change it to enemy x, and in the y position, change it to enemy y, and go to motion and grab a point in direction block. So in point in direction, grab a item 1 of enemy direction. And now let's change the 1 to token. So go to variables. So inside 1, change it to token. And now let's grab a forever loop. So in forever, it is going to set size to 400, and then wait like 0. Sorry, not wait block, we are going to take move 10 steps. So move 10 steps and then set size to 100. So what this will do is it would be able to pass the edge. So now let's test that, and now you can see enemy bullets are also shooting. So now let's make the score. So we are going to make a score. So now let's create a new variable, name it score, and for all sprites. So we are going to just make the score to large readout and just here. So and we are going to show the score. So if touching laser bullet, so if enemy direction is lesser than 1, we are going to change enemy life score by like 3. So now you can see it will change score by 3 each time
Enemy destroyed.
So but when we click the flag, the score doesn't change it to 0. So we are going to do when flag clicked, set score to 0. So each time we click the flag, the score changes to 0.
If you have any doubts, you can ask me on my Scratch Studio. The links are in the description below. And that's it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe too. See ya.